Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Over the past few weeks and actually months, many of you have heard leaders from both bodies of the legislature and both sides of the aisle talk about passing a bonding bill. DFLers mean it when we say we need to pass a robust bonding bill. Unfortunately, we have been met with contradictions and vague assurances from our Republican colleagues. And with less than 2 weeks left of the session, we decided it was time to act. So today we are here to announce our bonding bill proposal because we can't stand by and watch the inaction coming from our Republican colleagues. And Minnesotans are counting on us to act. Bonding projects are about building stronger, more vibrant communities. Passing a bonding bill will help address the need for infrastructure improvements and create the local jobs and economic stimulus our state needs right now as we navigate the effects of the public health emergency we are in. Republicans in the House have publicly said they will actively block a bonding bill from passing unless they get something in return. And their ask isn't small. They are asking Governor Walz to give up his ability to quickly and effectively respond to a public health crisis. They're more comfortable holding thousands of jobs hostage during a time when jobs are needed the most than they are working with the governor to ensure the safety and the security of our communities. Senate Republicans have no public bonding hearings scheduled with less than 2 weeks left of session, and repeated attempts to communicate with the Capital Investment Chair have been met with silence. We cannot become comfortable with the idea that political posturing is more important than the well-being of Minnesotans, and that is why we are here today. And with that, I will pass it over to Senator Pappas, our lead on the Capital Investment Committee, who will talk a bit more about the urgency to get this done.
She's muted.
Thank you. So sorry. As I said and you didn't hear me, this is my first Zoom press conference, so we're all getting used to the technology still. Thank you, Susan. If there was ever a time to pass a robust bonding bill, it's now. Today, we're announcing our own Senate DFL bonding bill at $2.3 billion in investments. These investments would ensure access to safe drinking water, housing that is affordable, public safety, and upkeep for our higher education institutions that prepare our future workforce in all four corners of the state. Minnesota has more than $5 billion in requests to improve our crumbling public buildings and infrastructure across our state. And the COVID-19 pandemic has made the urgency for these jobs these investments will create even greater. Passing a bonding bill will help address the need for infrastructure improvements and create the local jobs and economic stimulus our states need during this public health crisis. If we don't pass this bill this year, the cost for these projects will only continue to grow. We have a great opportunity with low interest rates and our bids are competitive. Now is the time to act. Well, I know there's going to be questions about whether or not we're talking to Senator Senjem and our colleagues in the Senate in order to negotiate or come to an agreement, because both caucuses have to cooperate in order to get a bonding bill. And I'm here to assure you that we've tried, that I've tried, and I've been met with nothing but silence. I've called, I've texted, I emailed. I even offered to go for a walk with Senator Senjem, 6 feet apart, of course. He has an apartment a block from me. And even though I'm the lead on the Capital Investment Committee, I've not been given the opportunity to have more than 1 or 2 short, brief conversations. Hence, that's why we're here today with our own bill, because we refuse to allow the silence and lukewarm assurances of some get in the way of action for all, of getting something actually done for Minnesotans. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Senator Hayden.
Good. Well, thank you. My name is Jeff Hayden, Senate District 62, and I want to thank all of you for being here. The part that I want to talk about is I represent one of the most diverse communities in Minnesota, and there is about 4 or 5 bills that represent what we call equity in the bonding bill. Senate File 4393 is going to be the largest urban American Indian bill that we've ever put on the table that revitalizes our urban Indian community, which has been some of the highest hit in disparities, and thus even in the COVID-19 pandemic really needs the resources. Some of those projects would include the Little Earth United Housing Tribe, the Indians Resource Center, as well as the NACD, which is the Native American Clinic, which is working awfully hard at this time and has more patients than they can have. The other big project that we have is called Dreamland 38. It's in the heart of South Minneapolis, and it looks to revitalize, working with the city of Minneapolis, a prominent African-American corridor, a renaissance. This represents us not only putting hard physical infrastructure, but also making sure that we have human infrastructure as part of our values as well. So we continue, as my colleague said, continue to push for a robust bonding bill that takes care of all Minnesotans. We would hope that the Senate Republicans get on board, and we would hope that the House Republicans stop the intrinsicness of them not wanting to have a bonding bill because of petty politics. It is now time for us to pass a robust bonding bill. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll pass it off to my colleague, Senator Nick Frentz.
Well, thank you, Senator Hayden, and thank you everyone for coming this morning. Greetings from beautiful North Mankato. The number one thing to understand about a bonding bill in these times is that it's stimulus. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Americans have always relied on stimulus, going back to President Roosevelt's Civilian Conservation Corps. 1933, during the Great Depression, we put over 3 million Americans to work, and it had exactly the effect that we wanted. It brought us out of the Depression, and today our discussion about bonding allows us to do the exact same thing. Do we need stimulus? Ask the federal government, who have voted in over $3.5 trillion of stimulus just in the last 4 weeks. By comparison, that's about the same amount of money that our federal government put into the Great Recession from its start to 5 years from the start back in 2008. I want to echo what Senator Pappas is saying. It's more expensive for Minnesotans not to bond. If you have a damaged roof, you don't let it leak all over your house and contents and wait till it collapses and then fix it. It saves money to maintain. You will note from the Senate DFL bonding proposal, over $220 million proposed for local roads and bridges. Ask your county engineers how badly we need that and how much it will cost us if we do not pass a bonding bill that provides for local roads and bridges infrastructure. Finally, a bonding bill takes work. We are asking our House Republicans, does it not require all 4 caucuses to dig in and do the difficult work to pass a bonding bill? We need everybody there. So I'm saying to you, Representative Doubt, it's time for us to do this work. Now hop out of the wagon and start pulling. Thank you. And with that, I would give it back to Senator Kent.
Thank you for that and giving me a minute to find my unmute button. With that, everyone, we will open it up for questions. I'm keeping an eye on chat, and if anyone wants to raise their hand. Tori Van Oot from Star Tribune.
Hi, Leader Kent and Senator Pappas, you both mentioned lack of committee hearings, lack of conversation. At the end of last session, we heard a lot about concerns about the way things were done, deals in the end, the tribunal, leaders involved deciding things on their own. Are you worried that this could repeat itself this year? What are you doing to try to have a more transparent process?
That's an exact worry, because we've seen this play out a few times recently, that, if we just wait till the last minute, we'll get it done. And invariably, we end up either it doesn't go through, as it didn't last year, or we have problems with the bill because we didn't have the time to do the vetting and really work on it. This is too important. It's a significant amount of investment that requires the careful attention and study that is due. But it's also so important right now because these are people's jobs that we're really talking about. And that is always an important factor in a bonding bill, but never more so than right now. Sandy?
Yeah, I'm really disappointed because I thought, given the crisis, that politics would be left behind, and it looked that way in the beginning of session, beginning of the pandemic. There was a lot of cooperation between the leaders, but that just hasn't played out with the bonding committee. I think it would have been wise to do a bonding bill early to make sure we capture this construction season and focus on shovel-ready projects, things that would get people to work right away. I mean, the Republicans are talking a lot about getting people back to work. Construction jobs are considered essential jobs, and it's a great way to keep people working and all the related jobs to all the construction projects, and it's statewide. So I just don't understand why it's politics as usual with the bonding bill. And they haven't been very successful when they've waited till the end. There have been a couple years in the past few years where we had no bonding bill because everything fell apart at the last minute. And that strategy has not worked for them. So why do we keep repeating it? Why not do a different strategy where we cooperate like we have been around COVID issues and agree that we need to get an infrastructure bill passed and it needs to be robust? I mean, this is the time. Interest rates are low. This is the time to do, we for the first year, the bond payments are low. It costs us $24 million to get $2 billion in GO bonds. It's a bargain.
Thank you, Sandy. Peter Callahan has a question.
Hi, I guess I have the question that everybody else has, and we've just now gotten a link to the bill, but it really puts us at a disadvantage to ask about a $2.3 billion bill without knowing what the heck is in this thing. So does anybody want to take a run at giving us at least a summary? Senator Hayden gave us some specifics, but I would really like to know how you're breaking out that $2.3 billion.
Happy to do it. Sandy, I know we'll be glad to give you an overview of how this breaks down and what some of the key features are.
Yeah. So I want to tell you that we use the governor's bill as a base. And then, so that governor's bill has been out for a while. And so then we can send you the spreadsheet right away. In fact, I thought we had done that, but we can certainly do that. And so then we added other key projects that have come up, like the equity project, since the governor released his bill. And we added about another $200 million to the governor's bill. So it's the same buckets, a lot of emphasis on HEAPR and higher ed. That's really important. Our natural resources, our water, wastewater, and clean drinking water. We put a bucket into transportation, but we don't earmark. But certainly local bridges and local roads, we put a bunch of money into that. We're really looking at public safety is a big focus with a number of public safety centers. And then a variety of projects from around, local projects from around the state that people have been waiting for years to get. I have to just tell you that I've been so embarrassed going on bonding tours when we go back and we go back and we go back and we still haven't funded these projects that local communities have been begging us for years to fund. It needs to be part of our own stimulus package. So Jessica will send out the spreadsheet for you, and then I know the bill is a little overwhelming.
And I would also add, we've heard Republican leaders from both caucuses talk for months. I mean, I know this goes back to before session conversations about the importance of this being an infrastructure bill. And so I think we've tried to be really sensitive to that and respectful that that is a priority of theirs. And we're listening to what they're saying. And we hope that they will in turn listen to some of the things that we think are also important. We had another question from Tim Pugmire about the list of proposed projects and from Shannon Lurkey about the overall size, which I think we've addressed. Any other, let's see, not seeing any. Peter, your hand is still up. Do you have a follow-up question?
No, that was belts and suspenders.
Okay, always wise. Any other questions about the bill, about the process?
Well, Senator, I guess I have another question. I mean,
Sure.
This is the one spot where you guys have clout. If they want a bill, they need your votes. Those of you who've been around a while, is it unusual to be whatever we are, 10, 11 days to adjournment and not have the majority approach the minority for what it will take to get them to offer the votes for a bonding bill? Or maybe they just assume that you like bonding and you're going to vote for it no matter what it looks like.
Senator Pappas?
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think they might assume that we're just going to vote for it regardless. And they, might think that they could attract a couple of our members, but with a few projects. And also, I have to say, a month ago or so, when I was trying to talk to Senator Senjem, he did say to me, I said, well, what's the process? What are we going to do? Are we going to get a bill out earlier? And in one of our few conversations, he said, well, I suppose we'll do it like always, is I'll just throw a bill out there on May 18th. And so that was an early indication that they weren't really interested in working with us, that May 18th, we can't even pass bills, that's the same old strategy that hasn't been successful in the past, and that they're not really serious about putting people to work and repairing our crumbling infrastructure.
Next question from Theo Keith.
Yeah, this is a two-part question. First one is the governor's proposal was $2 billion. I think I just heard that yours is $200 million over that. So I just want to confirm is a $2.2 billion proposal.
I think it's a little closer to 2.3.
2.3. Okay. That 200 million over what the governor proposed, what projects are those? What do you want that he did not propose?
Well, the governor left it to us to fund equity projects. So that's around 30 million, maybe a little less than that we had to figure out how to do. There were a number of projects that were left off, maybe because they weren't ready last summer when they were reviewed by management and budget. I think one is the South Metro. Let me think about what those might be. Some are infrastructure projects for, like there's one in Austin for wastewater treatment that is added. They've all kind of mushed together now in my head, but I'm happy to provide you a list with what projects we added.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Tori Van Oot from the Star Tribune.
I actually have two questions now. First, Senator Kent, when Senator Pappas mentioned, Republicans think they might be able to peel off a couple of members. Is your caucus united in supporting this bill and wanting all of these projects, or do you think Republicans might be able to peel some off? And then my off-topic question was just on the child marriage bill today, ban. Is there commitment from the governor to sign that?
So to your question about caucus unity, that is always a process, right? We have to see what's in the bill, right? We have to figure out, because we haven't seen anything from the Republicans. There's also the process that, officially the bonding bill comes over from the House. So that's why it's so important that we work together. We had the conversation last night as a caucus that we are working together and waiting to see how this plays out. We want to be active partners in this process to make sure that what we come out with is a really great bill that brings important infrastructure projects across Minnesota communities, and then most importantly, really puts some good jobs out there, puts people to work in well-paying jobs that really can't be outsourced. That is all local money that goes right back into our Main Street businesses. And the other question was for Sandy about the child marriage bill.
It's interesting you asked me that. I would be very surprised if the governor would veto a bill that passed the House unanimously and is likely to pass the Senate with high numbers. So, but I have not actually had a conversation with him about it.
Shannon Lurkey from Capitol Report says there is some uncertainty about how the pandemic will affect higher education going forward. Does it make sense to spend money on buildings when there may be significant changes coming to how higher ed works in the future? Sandy, I think you probably have some pretty good perspective on this.
I think that's really an excellent question. And I would expect there might be some reassessment in some of the projects, but we just don't know yet. And MMB won't release the bonds if there isn't a viable project. And if Minnesota State or the university decides to change their priorities, we can shift. So there's really time, certainly over the summer and into the fall to give those consideration. But regardless, the HEAPR, the repair and the maintenance money that still needs to happen, because those buildings, even if they're not going to be full for a few years, they still need to be repaired. We can't have leaky roofs.
Yes, going back to Senator Frentz's early point that we need to make sure we're performing the maintenance on some of these things.
Mhm.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you all for being here. We look forward. Oh, Senator Hayden, yes. Nope. Okay. That was a wave. Sorry. Zoom protocol. All right. Thank you all for being here and have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.